In 1921, actress and producer Mary Pickford, along with other Hollywood heavyweights Charlie Chaplin, D.W. Griffith, and Douglas Fairbanks, were part of the group that established the Motion Picture Relief Fund. The idea was to give financial support to those in the entertainment industry who needed it. 20 years later, in 1941, Pickford and actor Gene Hersholt helped to break ground on the Motion Picture Country House and Hospital to further provide social services, financial assistance, healthcare services, and retirement living to members of the entertainment industry. 96 years later, the organization they helped set up is still going strong. I'm Ben Mankiewicz, and every Wednesday night in primetime this month, the TCM Spotlight will focus on the outstanding and vital work of the Motion Picture and Television Fund, MPTF. I'll be having conversations with movie and TV veterans, cast and crew alike, who live there, work there, or donate their time and talent to the organization, helping to bring that mission to life. Here with Jim Gianopulos, CEO of Paramount Pictures. Jim, thanks for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
How'd you get involved with the MPTF?
In 2001, they were dedicating the Ray Stark Villas at the campus, and Jeffrey Katzenberg invited me out and said, you know, you might want to come out and see what's going on. I mean, I was aware of the Motion Picture Fund. Of course, you know, it's a big part of the industry, but I had never experienced it, so I went out. And during the event, a number of the residents spoke. And I remember this one woman who was in a wheelchair, and she was elderly, but she spoke. She was so articulate, and she spoke about her career. She said she had started out as a secretary, and she even said, you know, that's when they called them secretaries. And she said, I was, you know, very privileged to make my way up the ladder, and I became a vice president of programming. And she said, and vice presidents then were a big deal. And she was very, very charming. And then she said, and then a few years later, there was a regime change, and I was asked to leave. And I understood, that's our business, that's the way things go. And then she said, without any self-pity or without any remorse, she said, I just didn't think I'd live this long. And it struck me that that was part of the fundamental nature of our business. Opportunities come and go, and careers rise and fall.
Yeah.
So I felt that it really put a point on the fact that we had a higher obligation than most industries to provide for our members. And I think that takes the form of helping them in between jobs as well as in their later years. And that's when I got more actively involved, and been doing it ever since. That was 2001.
Yeah, so the fund does much more than have a campus with residents.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, people go to residents' homes or members' homes and help them with shopping, help them get to a doctor, help them put rails in the bathtub, help them with financial assistance in between periods of employment. So it's this wide variety of assistance to tens of thousands of people. It's an incredible fund.
There's something about going out to that place and being at MPTF, and you know they do good work, and then you're there, and you know I got choked up within 5 or 6 minutes of being there.
Oh, it's incredible. And the people you meet there, the people that you hear their stories, you hear the films they made, the things that they were involved with, some of the most iconic works of our history, of our cinema. And it's truly amazing.
The movie we're about to see, Little Annie Rooney, stars Mary Pickford, and nobody more important to the MPTF.
Well, she's our patron saint. She was at the forefront of it all, and was not only a darling, America's sweetheart, as she was called, but as well became a very astute businesswoman who secured the ability to control creatively the films that she was in, and eventually formed United Artists, of course, and then started the fund in 1921.
She was a bit relentless.
Right.
Like she kept talking about it because she would not let it.
Oh, for decades.
She would not let it fade from the forefront of this industry's imagination and this industry's mind.
No, she was very present for many, many decades after she formed the fund. It started out, she'd put a bucket on the set and let people throw coins in it, and then it evolved into the payroll pledge, and eventually raised enough money through those payroll pledges to build the campus out in Woodland Hills.
Okay, Jim, thanks very much. We'll talk more after the movie. Here's the film from 1925 with Mary Pickford, believe it or not, at 33 years old, Little Annie Rooney. All right, you've just seen Little Annie Rooney, and I'm back here with the chairman and CEO of Paramount Pictures, Jim Gianopulos. So I'm always struck in many of these silents, how unbelievable, especially with kids, how unbelievably violent they are.
I know.
I mean, those kids, they're throwing bricks at each other, they're bouncing off heads, and they're like, that's hilarious.
It's all good.
Yeah. So obviously, our hope as we move forward with this spotlight, which we have all month, featuring residents and volunteers at MPTF, is that it's going to move people, and they're going to get inspired by these stories,
right,
and they're going to want to help.
Right.
If they want to help, how can they help?
Well, the first place to go is mptf.com, which is the fund's website. And I think not only is it an opportunity to donate, but to really understand better what the fund does and all its various services. And I would urge viewers to also look at the Real Stories, Real Lives segment that's there, which are, you know, recitals and stories told by residents of the home and you know, their lives in the industry and the films they made and how they made them and you know, their careers. It's a real great insight into the history of our business and the people who made the movies.
Jim, thanks for doing this
Great pleasure.
every week. We're really proud of this spotlight this month. Every week we will be talking to residents and volunteers, writers, unit production managers, second assistant directors, extras, and of course actors as well, and directors.
You'll hear some great stories.
Great stories. These are people who made movies. They're each picking one movie that they made, that they were involved with, telling the stories about it and talking about their lives and involvement with MPTF. And we're grateful for your help in helping us put this together. We think this will be a terrific spotlight this month.
Well, it's a great pleasure and really appreciate your help.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.